We are told that this world is infinite, it has no end, it is vast, and just like Earth, there is another planet named Samaras. Their world was exactly like ours, but they possessed highly advanced technology and lived comfortably. Although this was 65 million years ago, the people of Samaras were so advanced that they could travel to other planets even then. After this, we are introduced to the main character of the movie, Mills, who lived on Samaras with his wife and daughter. One day, Mills took his family to the beach. His daughter had a fatal disease, but he did not have enough money for her treatment. Since he was a pilot, he decided to join a space mission in search of another planet, along with some of his scientist colleagues. The mission was set to last 2 years, and with the money he would earn, he planned to fund his daughter's treatment. He had no other option. He had to do this for her. Before he left, his daughter told him, "Dad, I will wait for you to come back. I know you will complete your work well." After this, Mills embarked on his journey. 2 years later, we see his spaceship nearing its destination when suddenly, small debris from stars begins striking the vessel. The impact shakes the ship violently. Amid the chaos, Mills awakens in his sleeping chamber. He rushes out to take control of the ship, as all the other crew members were still in deep sleep in their sleep chambers. The spaceship had been running on autopilot mode. The speed of those small debris of stones were extremely high, causing severe damage to the spaceship. Assessing the situation, Mills decides to land the spaceship on a nearby planet. However, as he enters the planet's orbit, the high speed prevents him from seeing clearly, and the spaceship crashes into a massive rock. The impact sends a powerful shockwave through the ship, destroying and wrecking all the chambers inside. Everything is devastated, and even Mills is gravely injured. After regaining some composure, he checks to see if anyone has survived. As he steps out, he discovers that all the chambers have been destroyed, and everyone on board is dead. However, to his relief, the planet appears habitable for humans. There is drinkable water, edible leaves, and oxygen to breathe. But what he doesn't realize is that if life exists on this planet, then it could also be home to far more dangerous creatures. Unbeknownst to Mills, the planet he crash-landed on was none other than Earth. 65 million years ago, long before humans existed, when massive, terrifying creatures ruled the land. Determined to escape, Mills sends a distress signal to his base, reporting the disaster. He then recalls that their spaceship had 2 small emergency escape pods, but he has no idea where they landed. Since these escape pods were highly durable, Mills resolves to find them and return to his home planet somehow. Struggling to survive in the harsh conditions, Mills finds no food or water, making survival increasingly difficult. At one point, despair takes over and he even considers ending his life. But as he looks at pictures of his daughter, memories of her give him the strength to keep going. Just then, he picks up a faint signal. There is a sound coming from one of the chambers. Hope rekindled, Mills rushes to check if someone is still alive. After searching for a while, he finally finds someone. Mills finds a chamber, and inside it, he discovers a young girl, about the same age as his daughter. He takes her with him, and once she regains consciousness, he asks her where she is from, who she is, and what the purpose of her group's mission was. The girl speaks, but Mills cannot understand her because she is speaking a completely different language. Unable to communicate, he searches the chamber and finds her diary. After reading it, he learns that her name is Koa. The next morning, Mills sets out to explore the planet more closely while also searching for his spaceship. Along the way, he discovers numerous volcanoes and also finds dinosaur skeleton. After this, using his high-tech GPS device, which can locate objects, he determines that his small escape pod had crashed on a mountain 15 kilometers away. As he looks ahead, a small baby dinosaur suddenly attacks him. Fortunately, Mills is armed with an electric gun. He quickly pushes the creature away and kills it, saving himself. He then returns to Koa and tells her what happened. He also informs her that they need to cross a bridge and reach the mountain as soon as possible to escape. Hearing this, Koa tells Mills that her parents were also inside the chambers they arrived in, and she refuses to leave without them. However, Mills knows that all the chambers have been destroyed. Not wanting to tell her the painful truth, he lies and says that her parents are also on the mountain, urging her to come with him. Believing him, Koa agrees, and they prepare for the journey. However, what seemed like a straightforward path turns out to be extremely dangerous, filled with deadly creatures. In this prehistoric time, not only were there dinosaurs on land, but there were also flying creatures that could attack at any moment. Somehow, they managed to hide and cross a vast open field, eventually reaching a dense forest. But here, they encounter a group of highly dangerous dinosaurs. As the creatures charge at them, Mills quickly pulls out his electric gun and begins shooting, desperately defending both himself and Koa. Somehow, they manage to escape and continue forward until they find a river. They wash their hands and faces, take a moment to rest, and recover from the chaos. After a while, Mills climbs a tree and takes out his GPS to check the distance to their spaceship. However, just then, a branch suddenly breaks, and he falls hard to the ground, dislocating his arm. The pain is excruciating. The sound of the breaking branch attracts the attention of nearby dinosaurs, which begin moving toward him. As they charge to attack, Mills quickly grabs some bombs and throws them at the dinosaurs. The blasts kill some of them, allowing him to defend himself. Meanwhile, Koa runs off to hide behind a tree branch in another area. However, she soon realizes she has stumbled into the nesting grounds of flying creatures. As she tries to quietly move away, she accidentally makes a noise, alerting one of the dinosaurs. The flying predator locks its eyes on her and starts creeping closer. She is terrified, frozen in fear, as the dinosaur suddenly lunges, grabbing her by the clothes and attempting to lift her into the air. Just in time, Mills sees what is happening. Without hesitation, he chases after the creature and shoots it down, saving Koa's life. She is visibly shaken from the ordeal, so Mills picks her up onto his back and continues moving toward the mountain. As they walk, Mills starts seeing a reflection of his own daughter in Koa, the child he left behind on his planet 2 years ago. Night falls as they continue their journey, and traveling in the dark is too dangerous. They decide to take shelter in a cave for the night. Inside, Mills checks his GPS again, but what he discovers shocks him. He realizes that the asteroid debris that damaged their spaceship in space is now heading straight for Earth. The impact will wipe out all life on the planet, turning everything to ashes. Understanding the gravity of the situation, he explains everything to Koa. They must leave as soon as possible. At sunrise, just as they are about to continue their journey, a massive dinosaur suddenly attacks them. In a desperate attempt to survive, they rush back inside the cave for shelter. Inside the cave, they discover a tunnel, but it is too small for them to pass through. To widen the opening, Mills sets off a bomb, making the hole large enough for Koa to crawl through, but not for himself. Koa manages to escape, but Mills is still trapped inside. Just then, another dinosaur attacks him. Acting quickly, Mills grabs his electric gun and shoots at the creature, managing to save himself. He then struggles through the tunnel and finally makes it outside. But to his shock, Koa is nowhere to be seen. As he looks up, he sees massive chunks of rock falling from the sky, clear signs that time is running out. If they don't leave the planet soon, they will be doomed. Without wasting a second, Mills starts running toward the spaceship's location. However, in his haste, he accidentally steps into a swamp. The thick, sinking mud begins pulling him under. No matter how hard he struggles, he keeps sinking deeper. Desperate, he calls out for Koa, but with no response, he starts losing hope. Just before he is completely submerged, Koa appears. She quickly bends a tree branch toward him, and Mills grabs hold of it. With her help, he manages to climb out of the swamp. Overwhelmed with relief, he hugs Koa tightly. He was moments away from death, but she saved his life. Catching his breath, he tells her, "This planet is about to be destroyed. We need to leave now." They travel tirelessly, pushing forward all day and night. Finally, before the next nightfall, they reach the spaceship. To their relief, the ship is intact and undamaged, meaning they can escape. Without wasting time, Mills starts the ship systems. But just as he is about to launch, Koa runs out, searching frantically for her parents. Mills had told her they would be at the top of the mountain, but as she looks around, reality sinks in. He lied. All the chambers were destroyed in the crash, including the one where her parents had been. Heartbroken, Koa breaks down in tears. Mills tries to comfort her, but she is furious at him for deceiving her. Understanding her pain, Mills finally tells her the truth. "Your mom and dad didn't survive," he admits. "I'm sorry, Koa. I lied because I wanted to save both of us." Still sobbing, Koa refuses to move. Knowing they don't have much time left, Mills pulls out a photo of his daughter and gently shows it to her. "I took this mission so I could earn money to save my daughter's life," he explains. "She has a fatal disease, and if I don't reach her in time, she will die." Mills had begun to see Koa as his own daughter and was determined to save her life at any cost. Hearing his words, Koa became emotional, hugged him tightly, and started crying. After this, they boarded the spaceship, but before they could take off, falling debris struck the ship, and 2 massive dinosaurs spotted them. The creatures rushed toward them, trying to attack and prevent their escape. Realizing the danger, Mills knew they had to act fast. If they stayed any longer, the dinosaurs would tear them apart. To protect Koa, he ran out of the spaceship, deliberately drawing the creature's attention toward himself. As one dinosaur lunged at him, Mills fired his electric gun, killing it instantly. However, the second dinosaur was still alive and charged toward him. As Mills tried to reload his weapon, he realized the battery was nearly drained. He was convinced that this was the end, until Koa, thinking quickly, used the spaceship's projector to play a video. The sudden movement on the screen distracted the dinosaur, giving Mills a brief window to escape. But when the creature realized it had been deceived, it turned its fury back on Mills, resuming its chase. Meanwhile, the planet itself was nearing total destruction. Volcanic eruptions sent streams of lava surging across the land, and asteroid fragments rained from the sky. With the dinosaur still pursuing him, Mills saw no way out until an idea struck him. He sprinted toward an erupting volcano, luring the dinosaur into the fiery chaos. When the volcano exploded, the creature was caught in the blast, but its thick skin protected it from immediate death, only injuring it. Now even angrier, the dinosaur charged at Mills with unstoppable rage. With no escape left, he braced for death. But just then, Koa arrived once again, courageously stabbing the creature in the eye with a sharp wooden spike. Blinded and disoriented, the dinosaur stumbled too close to a massive volcano. At that moment, the volcano erupted, spewing molten lava and toxic gases that engulfed the creature, suffocating it in the fiery inferno. With the danger finally over, Mills and Koa wasted no time. They rushed into the spaceship, where Mills quickly entered the coordinates for their home planet. As they launched, small fragments of rock struck the ship, but they managed to escape safely. Just as they left the planet's atmosphere, a giant asteroid crashed into Earth, wiping out every living thing in an instant. The era of the dinosaurs came to an end, and with this the movie ends.